What is going on YouTube? This is your boy Ligo, one half and duo, and this is a discussion review. Now, I have put a discussion review because of seeing so many different types of reviews going up about the Switch and some complaints, some arguments, some this, some that. So I I'm gonna try to throw my hat in the ring. Now, this is a review of the Nintendo Switch, maybe a little bit of Zelda too in a little way, but I'm gonna talk about the Nintendo Switch as objective as I can. So with that, I'm gonna put out the not even the part of fact and truth disclaimer of this. All right, one, didn't buy the Switch. Somebody bought the Switch for me. Just laying that so people know about that. Two, I am an objective person, so I try. Of course, I be objective to many things, but I have a bias, of course, which is the funny thing about it. If you ever hear anybody say, "Oh, this is my unbiased review," that's a book. That's a crack of crap because there's nobody on this planet that ain't have a bias. So that's stupid. I acknowledge my biases and tell everybody up front. I don't get something. I say I got it. I would have bought the Switch anyway, but I don't buy something if I didn't feel like I wanted to like it. So that would be stupid of me to say that. So that's another thing. And of course, we got to go with the whole thing, which is my mantra. There's no perfect because perfect subjective. Now, with that said, I also hope that I sound very nicely right now. Let me check the see. Yep, yo, my boy is already up there. Andre, yo, yo, yo. Doing a mic check. How do I sound? I am using. Basically, I'm upgrading my studio, so I'm using the new blue. I'm testing it right now. Of course, I'm using a full mic stand and everything, but I am using the Blue Raspberry that just came out last year, and um, seeing if it right now it sounds good in my ears. But of course, it will sound different over YouTube. So normally, I use the Blue Yeti Professional to do the podcast, and it's going to still be used. But I just got the Blue Raspberry today. Yesterday, and I want to make sure that it sounds well. So I hope you guys can tell me if it sounds good in the chat. But what up to everybody who's in there? Thank you, Insane Gamer. It sounds good. All right. Well, and you over in the UK. So yeah, that sounds good. Okay. So all right. Also, if you have any question, those who bought, did not bought, who want to ask questions about the Nintendo Switch, you could ask them, and I'll give my true objective opinion. Because a lot of people are, I'm seeing, like I said, I'm seeing reviews going back and forth. Buy this, don't buy this. Some people are nitpicking to the most, some is not. Some is, I mean, the general thing that kills me is, once again, you know my stance on people don't do research. You get one review that's cool. Now, as Game Idea Guy knows, I looked at many videos today on my lunch break just to make sure that I did a just to make sure that I get all the stuff, all the nitpicks that everybody wants to get. So that's one. So I saw Forbes, IGN, CNET, which was a joke, GameStop, which was basically a joke again because it came from CNET, but whatever. Linus is a cool dude. I looked at him as a PC thing, PC Magazine, and many things. Yes, about the Switch, Psychic Cooper. I want to give people a true. If you ain't about the Switch, you got questions, I'll ask it to a degree because it can. We don't have the full functionality of the Switch, but I want to give people out there a true, like I said, objective view of it. Again, can't say I'm biased because I'm not. Nobody is. Don't let nobody fool you thinking that this is a bias. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Everybody has a bias. Just accept it and look at things both sides of the way. Now, some people look at it as as a contrary or whatever. If I would tell anybody up in my life that have I ever been hypocritical, yes, I have in my life, yes, because there's certain situations allow this. But I made sure my best to try to do the indoor challenge as right as I can to be on straight on the narrow as it could be. So I don't have to backstep nothing as much as I can. So with that said, now The Nintendo Switch came out. A lot of people out there bought it. A lot of people out there bought the Switch. First of all, I have to say this because, like I said, it was the truth. I was surprised in the region that I was in. I could not find 1-2 Switch. It took me 6 stores to find 1-2 Switch. So the game that people knocked said bad. Excuse me. Okay, now I know how to mute. Okay, so do you see the satire article about running your Switch over the car? Yeah, okay. I ain't see it, but I know people do crazy stuff anyway. Mint. But I want to get into the point to let me see. So I want to Switch, like I said, everybody was not going to say the bad. Most of us have said together that the one that 1-2 Switch should have been a pack in. Blah, blah, blah. Said it many other times. So it's beating a dead horse. We know that. But it took me 6 stores to find 1-2 Switch. I'm not even lying to you. I tried a Walmart, 2 Targets. I found it in the second Target, 2 Targets, 2 GameStops. Now, 4 of those stores was in the same shopping center, and 2 was further away, but closer to my studio job. So, in that regard, and I went to Walmart, and it was the wall that they had for the 1-2 for Nintendo Switch was basically bare. The only thing they had left back was 2 Game Pro controllers, Switch Pro controllers. That's what they had. So it was just ridiculous in that regard. So, and also I'll do a video that's gonna be satire, but it's gonna be fun. You'll check it later on. You'll see, because I think people need to understand things about the world. So, is the Switch perfect? Never has been. There's never been a perfect console. Never have been. Never gonna be, because everybody has flaws. Everything has flaws, or everything. No, it's hard to create something that works for the mass audience. I think a lot of gamers are getting that twisted and can't and is weird. They keep on forgetting that the mass audience, what works for you might not work for somebody else. That's why I came up with my phrase at the end of my videos talking about perfect. There's some people who like certain things. Now, I wish we could get to a point that we could see, okay, this might not work for me, but then not work. There's some people I know that I'm cool with. Game Idea is one of those guys. Like, the people who understand, like, I wish it could, but it didn't. And it's roll off my shoulders. I ain't got to worry about stuff like that. And there's more people I can name as well too. That doesn't seem to do this, but there's some people who grab to certain things and is gripped to that, 1, and 2, gripped also to nitpicking stuff. Let's talk about the consoles. Let's go from the nitpickiest to the worst, as I could say, maybe to that. That's the best way to look at it. The kickstand. For some weird reason, most of the reviews I've seen has a problem with the kickstand. This flimsy kickstand. That if you put pressure, why would you put pressure on something that doesn't need to be put pressure on? It holds the weight of the Switch. That's all it's supposed to do. And it was this, and 2 of them said, like, oh, it snapped off. Here's a good example. Go to Andre, the black video, the black nerd comedy. The reason that they did that is breakaway, and it don't break, and you can put it back easily, is because when you saw Andre video when he did the demo of the Switch at his private Switch, he forgot to put this kickstand back into the tablet, and he slammed, and he didn't slam, but he slid it back in, and it popped off. There are gonna be people who are gonna be forgetful. That's what's gonna happen. So, is it light and flimsy? Okay, yes, but it was built in a way to hold the power of the weight of the Switch. Not your hands pressing down on the Switch, not you rocking it back in the Switch. And if you put it back in, it won't have no problem. And it's set to detect because of kids might do something crazy like that. That's what it's supposed to do. Most people are not going to play it in table mode. Some will, some do not. So that to me is a weird gripe, but all right. And it's weird. Next small little gripe. Now, this is on Nintendo side, this which made a this switch made this is true, and I never brought up in my video in my other video about this because I saw the people saying that Joy Cons have the two. I never brought this up in the video for a simple reason, because I see what the controls were, and I didn't bring it up full because I know it's gonna be a problem. Now, taking the Joy Cons apart and playing it with two people as sorry about that. Um, Joy Cons by itself to play games. I would tell anybody out there, it is not comfortable. I saw that from the get go that was not going to be comfortable, but it's not comfortable. Is little kids going to have fun with this? I mean, they had small hands. Yes, my sisters, I showed in the video the video before. It does have she has small hands, and it was like a little thing, including the right one. The right one has more of a problem because of where the axis is offset in a weird way. So I give it that. So I that is, and again, listen to me carefully. Unlike other YouTubers who use this word stupidly and not use it in the right way, gimmick has never meant to me as a bad thing. It was meant as a feature to sell the product on. Is this a great gimmick for Nintendo, the Joy-Con Switch in that regard? In the regards of playing it as a controller, no. As playing as a controller. Even when you attach on the wrist straps, it alleviates a little bit of the problems. I could use it, but again, I have bigger hands than my sister, and I could see gain cramp. I cannot, so I won't recommend and say that's a fault on Nintendo side, but it is all goes for what Nintendo wants to do. So I can't say that, but it has. Yeah, I know game idea. Everything has a gimmick. I know that, but I'm just putting a disclaimer for anybody else outside who never watched my channel ever. You got to do that sometimes because people, go crazy and stuff. So now having the Joy Cons like in your hands one by one, that feels comfortable to me, and I feel comfortable with my sister. It has that. And it does, and like I said, I've played Zelda with it, had no problem. It felt good. That had no problem with that. That felt really good on my hands. I was playing Zelda, chilling, because the other way I play Zelda on the Wii U is with the remote and nunchuck. So yeah, so it works out. So that feels comfortable in my hand. Now playing with the Joy Cons as in 1-2 switch. Playing it with the Joy-Con with 1-2 switch, that part of the gimmick is pretty damn well. I bought the 1-2 switch because unlike other people or most YouTubers, well, hell, it's sold. So I gotta say this again one more time. Could I pack it in? Yes, $49.99. If I couldn't find it in most of my metro area, and Raleigh, North Carolina is the capital of North Carolina, and I'm like close to downtown and stuff, and I couldn't find. I gotta say, golf clap to Nintendo. They made a money shot, and now they're gonna have a million seller for. They'll have that plus Zelda. I don't know if Bomberman is gonna be there, but it's 1-2 Switch and Zelda is gonna be a million seller. So easy. What up, 83? Easy. So I bought 1-2 Switch because I like game idea and maybe a couple of people. I want to feel what the how should I say it? I wanted to feel what all the Switch has to offer. Now let me point this out as well too, so people can listen to me and understand this. Back in 2002, when the GameCube was basically in the second year of the cycle and everything, Iwata at GDC said something that stick to my mind and always going to be there because I could see it. GameCube was basically the most friendliest to the third parties as they wanted to be, because Yamauchi allowed a lot of third parties to have their say in the GameCube. So That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted. So what Iwata said in the GDC is important to me, because what he said was, we give you the paint and we give you the canvas. It's up to you to make your masterpiece. Up to you to make your masterpiece. So is so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna, you know what, I can't do it now. I'll wait maybe 2 years from now to see if Nintendo takes it, because Nintendo did use the gamepad in ways that I loved. They did use the nunchuck remote in ways that I have, and there was some third parties that do it. Boom Blocks was one of them. GoldenEye, Conduit, Call of Duty, most first person shooter games on that. Like I said, Boombox use it. Excite Truck use it sideways pretty good. You could say all you want about Metroid 1 the M, the controls worked. It wasn't messed up. It worked. So sorry. I'll put this out quick. Yeah, Sidekick Cooper. Depending on where, you know what, put down where you're, which part of Sweden you is, because we do have, what Double A is saying, we have people also we know and we talk to almost every other Saturday in Sweden as well too. So we get it from people who live there, not news over the stuff. Well, maybe Double A and totally agree, but anyway, I'll keep on going. So with that said, I was thinking about. Oh yes, so that's what Iwata said, and I cool with that. Like Nintendo, if Nintendo doesn't do certain things with the game, then okay. But here's new things for developers to use that thing that makes gaming good, not power, not power. This stupidness about we needs more power. No, using your brain, game design, always gonna be the reason that makes a great game. Always, never's gonna be no different. Game design is the number one important thing to make a game that's good. Because between Breath of the Wild just showed that what I've been saying all the time, the most accredited games, the most sold games were never the most powerful games. There were games that was more powerful at the time, and they outclaimed them with power and without credit and credit. Because this is not a hit piece against Horizon Zero Dawn, because I will pick up the game when I get my PlayStation Slim later down the line. But there you go. It's not the Zelda killer, but it's not a bad game. People should go on and pick it. If you have only a PlayStation, you should be playing that exclusive, because that's exclusive to your console and have fun with it. Play that. But it's not as much, because people look at Zelda Breath of the Wild and see where it is. It's on a more powerful console, but I can guarantee right now it's not going to sell as it's accredited, and it's not going to sell as much as Zelda. So game design is always going to be what makes a great game, and people need to keep on remembering, it's not graphics, it's not power. Game design, because you got the best game, you got the best graphical thing out there, but if it's boring, it's boring. It just is. You have the power. Oh, power. Okay, what you could do with the power? I've seen more, and I've not played every game, so I'm going off of my taste of playing games. I've seen some cool AI intelligence in playing Breath of the Wild, on how these guys react. Because I saw a video and person said, "Well, the Macabrians will not fight if you don't have a weapon in your hand." They do. They throw rocks at you. They take up a rock and throw it at you. They do something. If they don't have a weapon, they use something to fight you. So it's weird how, again, this is why I see certain people say certain things going around. So it's up to the game designers to come up with the crazy ideas to make these awesome games. Because again, Raven Rabbits, a lot of people don't like it, but Ubisoft, Microsoft, they use the gyroscope and everything in the remote nunchuck to make a good game. The game that sold and made Ubisoft $1 billion franchise. Don't forget Trauma Center. I mean, there's many games that all of us have played that's different in that regard. So, with that said, we're going to other stuff. So that's what it needs to be. So I could see I picked the 1-2 switch because I wanted to feel it. And I will tell you right now, yes, do all the games use the HD Rumble? No. But the ones that do, it blows my mind. Because it blows my mind because it's where other people say it's kind of they cannot explain it, but they say this is not good. I don't get that, but that's how people are. So it is what it is. Because yes, I'm playing a Marvel game, and I'm like, and me and my sister played that. We figured it out. I was like, wow, this how they did this is pretty cool. The same thing with the milk and everything. How they make that Joy-Con feel, simulate those movements and stuff like that is beyond me, and it's pretty damn awesome. That's what I like about that. 1-2 switch bitch needs to be the catchphrase. All right, game idea. So that's what killed me too, because I could like when we did, we like, oh man, I could feel that there's 4 marbles in here. I could feel it. I could feel it moving around. I'm like, stuff like, and I remember one of the reviewers saying basically from the PC things like, well, yeah, you don't feel it's getting annoying because you can't tell. If the game gives you a time to swirl the marbles around to figure out what the number is, it's not like they tell you here it is, and guess like it's at a carnival show and you got a jar and you say, hey, guess how much marbles is in here? 250. Well, you're wrong. No, you feel the marbles move around in the control, which is pretty awesome. The same thing with the milk. You feel the milk, you go down, you feel the rumble going through it as well. It pulses in your hand. That is pretty cool. Now, I hope other game developers plus Nintendo, let's not leave them out the fray, plus Nintendo, give people the use this concept to make games more interested. I know Game Idea has plenty ideas he could do once he feels it. I know a lot of people could do the exact same too. I only have Breath of the Wild, but it does not use HD Rumble. That's Psychic Cooper. Yeah, it does, but you are nowhere close to where you need to use it yet. Once you start doing certain activities later on in the game, you'll feel the difference. Maybe you might be a little bit not. Maybe you're not. This is a thing that's what I'm trying to say, that needs to be objective. Like, there are people who are sensitive to certain things they're not, and that's basically a human experience thing. But anyway, getting back to it. So I want to switch. That's why I bought it. Me and my sister played it for about 2 hours. We had fun. We enjoyed it. I could see that when my co-hosts come over with her kids and we're going to do, have fun, or when my bandmates come to my house to record, we're going to have fun with this game. So I don't feel bad about it. But again, if party games are not your thing, don't buy it. That is something that is how it should be done. Also, hashtag, I'm not using no freaking hashtag boys nothing. I'm a grown ass man. I'm sorry. I don't. Joy-Con boys, Pro-Con boys, whatever. It's a controller. Just have fun with it. I'm sorry. That's my little gripe. I just don't like cutesy names for shit. It's just me. But okay, keep on going. So that's where the Joy-Con split together. You can have fun. That is used very well. I have no problem with that. Now, let's get into one of the things that people were talking about. They were talking about the screen. Yes, that's a good one, the one with the cut and the chopping. That also is a good way to listen to things. And as Terrell 83 said, both Horizon Zero Dawn, and I said it in my videos before to anybody who's new, and Breath of the Wild are awesome games. So let's not go with this whole console war crap. One is one. It's on each other console. They're exclusive. Both of them are for what they're supposed to do. Breath of the Wild has its problem just as much as Horizon Zero Dawn has its problem. But both games have gotten great reviews, and majority of people like it. So it makes no sense to tear down one for whatever. I only put out the objectively because what people are saying, and I'm putting my point about power and game design. Just to point out that it's been like that for the last 30 years, and people just never seen that. So next thing was the the Nintendo Switch gamepad. Now, I've seen a lot of people went out there and talked about the game, the the dock scratched my gamepad. Now that has not happened to me. It could, but I don't know. It's something about me that I take care of my shit. Even though if somebody bought it for me, I take care of my stuff. My screen is still good, and I'm going to get a protector. Now I did saw a gripe, and like I said, I called it out to Graham Kirkpatrick in a video that's on the channel right now. And people are saying you shouldn't buy it, which is weird. Why would you say that? You shouldn't buy Nintendo should have done a better job. You shouldn't buy a screen protector. What? You shouldn't buy a screen protector to your cell phone. It's weird. To you, Psychic Cooper, you Dr. Feelgood stuff. Those, like I say, here's the difference between me and anybody else. I particularly really don't care for Miiverse, but other people do. If you think I think they're gonna. I'll wait until they open up the app for the phone and everything. If you wanted to be back, I hope you could post the Nintendo wish and hope you be back for people like you. Because again, I want you to enjoy your experience no matter what it is. That's the difference between me and you. Even if something I don't like, I want people to impart get as best as they can because everybody's different. So without the online and the app opening, I can't say they bring it back. Should they bring it back? Yeah, because people like you and other people wants it. I think they should bring it back. There are features that's gone and that people got used to. So I think they should bring it back. Not well, just like I said, I am not a social as game idea. Anybody else could tell you, like Google. As much as I supposed to be social as I can, I only use Google Plus and Facebook. I don't use Snapchat, Twitter, none of that junk. I like being private. I'm different from most people. That's what we said. We different from most people, and that's good. I'm like I said, you're the few people that I said that's pretty good for. So I hope it comes back, but I can't give a definite answer until I get the what you call it, the how should I say this, the app and everything open for the online and everything like that. That's what happens. So I'll wait until then to give you an answer. I can't give you nothing other than I hope it comes back for people who love it like you. Or Dr. Feelgood, because Dr. Feelgood said he likes it as well. He wants it back. And people who want to do the Miiverse stuff. I hope that they bring it back in some form or fashion that you could do certain things. Now, going back and you're right, Santiago 316, that's what I'm doing too. I'm getting a tempered glass screen protector as well too. But I'm seeing people scratching their switches. And say, oh, all it is put in a dock. Nintendo, this is bad floor design. All right. I acknowledge this. Not everybody, you cannot. Here's the thing. You could design something, but Nintendo cannot design something that Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, let's be objective. Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, anyway, could design for the 5, 10, 20 million people who play video games on a regular and not going to use it in weird ways or mess with the way things mechanically. They can't do that. They do what they to the best of their knowledge, and it is up to you to take care of stuff. It's just what it is. I'll give you an example, and you could go check this out. Check out the 2015 Nissan Sentra. That's the one. That's one of the cars I bought. And the thing that killed me is you worried about a scratch on this stuff. It feels bad. I understand it. It's going to happen. It's just going to happen. Because when you get a brand new car, it's gonna get a scratch. Now, I scratched my brand new car the first time. I'm the first one to scratch the car. Why? Because Nissan did a design flaw. In my book, and other people who look at it, it's a design flaw, but for them, they did it for a reason. Again, both persons, fractionality, no, whatever. The 2000 in the Sentra, to lift up the windshield wipers. You can't just lift up the windshield wipers like you normally could for other cars. And if you look at the hood is smooth all the way through. They put the windshield washer on the underside of the hood. And if I got to take up the windshield wipers to replace, I got to lift up the hood and take off the windshield wiper. Now, I did not know that, and that was my fault, which I would have, again, unlike other people, I would take my responsibility. I did something stupid. I lifted up trying to take it, and I was like, oh, man, and it scratched the underside of the paint off because I wasn't paying attention and I didn't read it in a certain way. So I made that mistake. People say, well, that's a design flaw because of that. And it could, you're right. But also, they did that so they could make sure you get the streamlined aerodynamics, so they could get the miles per gallon. And technically speaking, I love the miles per gallon for the car than that in that functionality. It does get on my nerves when it's winter time and I want to lift it up. But again, I have a garage, thank God. I can park inside. I got to worry about stuff like that. But that's my point right there. Everything is not going to be designed 100% perfectly. It can't. It will not be. So the switch gain of scratches. Like I said, I have put my switch in and out that dock many times to see. Oh wow, it's seamless transition to see it for myself. So as Katie has done the same thing too, and we have no scratches on our switch, not a one. Now I am gonna buy me a tempered, as Santiago 316 said, a tempered glass for the switch because they sell them, and they're only $9.99. So I'm getting one from Amazon, and people saying, "Well, you should. Why I gotta buy? You should not buy a screen protector." Again, you do it for your phone, or you buy a case for your phone, or I bought one. I got a screen protector for my 3DS, and it's clamshell shell. So I don't get that. And you spending $9. That's kind of what? Thank you, man. Better be safe than sorry. You're whining for $9. I'm sorry. But if you want to protect your investment, you protect your investment. You bought a $300 console. I think you want to protect it so it can last as long as it can be. That's just it. It makes simple sense to me. That's the first thing I wanted to do when I got my Switch. Before even I touched the Switch, and you guys heard me on a couple podcasts before that, I'm going to get me a screen protector. That's one of the accessories I was going to buy. That's what I was going to do. So, yes, I don't have one right now. My sister has a Switch in her room. I'm playing Breath of the Wild on the Wii U on my screen TV. So, but we have not gotten no switches or whatever. Now, again, I'll be objective about, again, short again. Now, we have played the 1-2 Switch. We got it the same as everybody else, not midnight, but we got it and we put it up and we played. Now, my sister did got, and I hope, like I said, this is all he thinks. I hope Nintendo does have a way to fix this, but it has not happened to me, but it's happened to my sister. She did have one time the left Joy-Con did desync. I'll acknowledge it. Not saying that that's why I'm trying to give this objective view of things. It has desync with her. Now, I wasn't around when she said it, so of course I believe my sister because she won't lie to me. So it has desync. It has that problem for her. So is it an issue? Could be for many other people out there. I've done it the exact same way that Nintendo showed me how to do it, and I have never had a desync issue with me at all. So that's just me, how I feel like that. So just letting people know about that. There is an issue with that, with the left Joy-Con doing that. She had, again, I didn't see how she slid it in or whatever, because it might have been the way she slid it in, protecting the camera or something. I do not know, but it has happened to her. So it is a legitimate thing to talk about. Next thing was, I'm talking about this article that came out, talking about and I saw a lot of people talked about this, the blue screen of death on the Switch. Yes, no product ever came out and had a 0% failure rate. None. So I don't know what people are talking about that. Now, this I don't want, because it's clickbaiting. That's what it was. I do not want to. I went to this article when somebody put it on Google Plus, and I typed in the search bar. I typed in the search bar, right? PlayStation blue screen. Nothing really came up. PlayStation stories, but nothing came up about that. PlayStation bricking, because they were talking about blue screen and how it counts as bricking itself. Okay. PlayStation 4 bricking. No, nothing. Even though PlayStation himself has admitted that their updates has caused PlayStation consoles to brick themselves, and they have to replace it and everything else too. But you did a story about the Switch doing that, but you have not done it. Right? So of course I put in Red Ring of Death, and of course it came up because it's a big problem. But that was kind of weird. So that's kind of weird in that regard of saying that. I'll answer a question from it is I saw one of the people from Platinum blurt out they port near to Switch if Square wants them to. What are your thoughts on that? If they do, they do. I mean, it's up to Square. They're the one who owns the thing, and if if Nintendo's working with Platinum to do certain things, hey, it'll be cool. I wouldn't mind having another Bayonetta-esque kind of game on a Nintendo console. I really do hope PlayStation people who got that game buys the game, because some of y'all videos were salty when Bayonetta 2 was announced for the Wii U, but now you get your own version of the game. So put your money where your mouth is and buy it, please. Don't sugarcoat this bull crap for this. All right, so that article to me was just a hit piece. It was bogus. If they had stuff about the PlayStation problem like I just did, that's my own simple search of doing that, then I would say, okay, you know what? Hey, you know what? Point it out. And again, I'm not saying that they're wrong that happened, because again, no product that's mass produced have a 0% failure rate. So let's not get that twisted. So for the people who got that, the same thing with the Wii, we had problems too. And I hope Nintendo did jump on it, but again, I don't know all the details. I can't. I'm not all over the world, but I know for certain reasons, like me, when I had my Wii had a problem, Nintendo helped me out and worked with me in getting my Wii fixed and send it back to me and everything for free. So, and I was way past the warranty, so I can't argue to a point. Thank you for jumping on that. If you take the time to go through the procedures, I hope it's not a long wait for your console. That's all I can say. It's very sad, but I've enjoyed it. So that's another issue that kills me. Now, another thing is people, of course, are saying, now again, let's go back to the Joy-Cons. They're saying it's uncomfortable to play the Joy-Con, having a Switch in your hand, in mobile mode. And I have to agree with to an extent. And that's why I said I think that's where Nintendo's gimmick, or the way that they set it up, failed them in a way. Point taken. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It did. Because the same thing I did for the Vita is the same thing I said about the Switch. The thumb is underneath. The thumb is underneath. Now, here's the funny part. People, I saw those videos, and Game Idea saw this. There are people who's praising the Wii U for where they put the thumbsticks now. Everybody was like, Nintendo, you need to be like 360. A lot of people out there are praising the Switch Pro controller because it feels like this 360. That's what they're praising. They say, oh, this is good. Here's the funny part too. If you even go to the Linus one as well, the Linus review of the Switch, they're like, this feels like a controller. This is. Thank you, Nintendo, for giving me a normal controller. These are the people who just like simple things, pretty I'm not gonna lie, because they're all PC thing. Simple things, pretty graphics, doing the same thing, not having no creativity in the game. Basically, because I saw most of the games they looked at. That's ridiculous to me. I want new experiences. Very much new experiences. And I'm gonna do a video about this, but also I'm bringing it up in here too. But new experiences. Nobody talks about this stuff like that. But it is a problem that they put the thumbstick underneath that part, and now they're praising the Wii U gamepad. Ha ha ha! Funny how y'all switch y'all things in the way. Man, people are just weird in things. No, but yes, it should have been offset. It takes a while to do. Now a lot of them say because of the thumb right there, you have to hold it with your which is weird because I don't hold it that way. I hold it. My thumb is changed a little bit. I get that. I'm not saying is it comfortable? Not really. I'm not gonna lie. For me, it might be for some other people, but not for me. But I can play the Switch in the tablet mode, no problem. I'm not, because everybody's saying that you have to hold most of the weight with your left hand. No. Okay. That's weird because I don't. It's basically in both of my hands. I'm playing. I'm enjoying it. But again, who am I to say things like that? Game Idea said, didn't I say people would start talking up the Wii U after the Switch came out? Yeah, I said the same. I'm with you. Game Idea. That's the same thing I said too. But point taken. it's where how you got to do it, because again, kind of like I did the video with Grimpachi, like I just the response to him, like he says his hand, and I can't doubt it because I don't know his hands, whatever. He says his hands get cramp on the Vita. Mine doesn't. No, I have to use feel a certain way so I don't get my hand bumped to the sticks, of course. But I still play the Vita game, enjoyed it, had fun with it, so I don't do that stuff. I put it as one of my gripes in the beginning when I first got the game, but didn't happen to, like I said, but I played Vita for over what, close to 200 hours now, and I've enjoyed it. Switch, swap, flip, flop. We know a person who will be saying that. Now, and then since you brought it up, game idea guy, I got to talk about that. So, another PSA people going out with. Now, I have to say this. Is everything going to work perfectly again? No, it's not. I can't say that. There might be sometimes the slide grips for the Switch on your console might mess up. So if it does, call Nintendo or talk to keep your receipts, or call in and tell them, hey, this is not working or whatever. That's what you should do. That's what I do. If something's not right, you keep your buy and you do that. Don't buy the receipt and throw it away now. Most of you people are stupid for that. But the thing is, I would give one person, this is from Richard Review, but I'll give him I'll give him a plus for that. Now, people having problems taking off the wrist straps. Now, Katie could attest to this. She's taken out, for some reason, it's hard for her for some reason. I'm not gonna deny it. You kind of see it in the video we had it. For me, it was just simple. Pull pop is off, pull pop is off for me. So it's not both strength, whatever. I told her to keep knocking off basically there's a little thing on the bottom where the strap is, unlock it. Now I will say that what Rich said is right, and I wish Nintendo did do this. So there you go. I'm again being what it is. Basically, you're supposed to do minus, minus, plus, plus. I kind of wish Nintendo did have a different color so you could show like a white, maybe have a white to say this is a white minus and a white plus, so you don't get confused, because it's black on black and it's hard to see sometimes. So I'll give that and say Nintendo should have done that for the console, so the Joy-Cons could have, she always got the right Joy-Cons on the right thing all the time. So that regard is pretty, like I said, it is something that they should have done, and I agree with Richard's review on that one. Now, the way he took it off and snapped it off like that, I never had that problem. And again, my sister tried, she couldn't, but I have, and it's to me, it slides off, no problem. Just no problem. Press the button, boop, got off, no problem. I have no problem with that. So I have, in a regard, that to me is a PSA in a way of all I could have done was put a simple color change white on the thing so people know that. But to me, again, it's how you slide off and off the track. Now, this is the next thing I gotta bring up that's crazy as well too. All right, CNET, GameStop, IGN, Forbes, Linus's and PC Magazine. I know you don't listen to me, but I gotta point out because you said in the review. I wish the Nintendo Switch had an upscaler in the system, because it's it just doesn't do a good job upscaling, to the blah 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 blah. And most of them pointed out most TVs they tested the thing on a 4K TV that has upscale engine. So why would they're not making the games for the graphical intensity as everybody else? The thing that killed me, that's funny, over the years, all the games that Nintendo has made that got a critical claim was not the most graphic intensive game, because again, it's the gameplay. You could look pretty all you want, but if you can't play the thing as a car, you could have you could freaking have the Lamborghini in your car, but if you can't drive a manual, if you can't drive it, it's a horrible thing. What is that fun to you? Get that to y'all heads, people. And the funny thing that killed me with that comment was, okay, I'll give you an example. I have me the Vizio P Series, Vizio P Series 4K TV. I got the numbers, blah blah blah, whatever. All right, but it's the second to the top. The top part of Vizio, you go to check this out on Vizio.com, is the R series. That's like $8,000. Fuck that. Ain't paying that much for no TV. P series is between 3 and 2. For me, I got lucky when I bought mine because it was $2,300. It was on sale. I got it for $1,900, and because of another thing, it got dropped down to $1,100. So I paid $1,100 for my TV. 65-inch, whatever. Has an upscale engine. 2 engine. There is 3. It's a 6-core TV. 2 cores goes towards the smart TV aspect of the TV, and 4 core goes towards graphics and upscaling. That's the way the upscaling picture, filling in the pixels, blah blah blah. That's the way it does. That's a good one. Buying a game console for graphics is like buying a raincoat for winter weather. That's a game idea saying that, which is pretty cool. But so unlike other people, here's the thing, and this is why I say it's objective for anybody out listening. I have Breath of the Wild for the Wii U and for the Switch. Both games, both consoles. Again, I'm playing it more on the Wii U. That's why I want to play it on, because that's why I had fun and played it on there. That's what I played it on. Now, the Switch, I basically got the Master Collection because I wanted the music and blah blah blah, and I am enjoying that. My sister really does not play home console Zeldas, and this is the first Zelda. This is the first Zelda she's been playing basically almost nonstop, because the Switch could go into mobile mode or handheld mode. So she's enjoying it. But here's the thing. I have the true, other people, game designers, the game developers and stuff like that, but true world experience now. I have the true world experience of having 2 games playing on the same TV and see what's going on. Now, here's how it goes again, being that people need to understand everything that works for everything. The Zelda on the Wii U, all right, is being upscaled for me because it's going through my TV. It upscales automatically. All right, it's doing that. On my TV, if I put it in vivid mode, okay, let's put it this way: the difference between Zelda Switch and Zelda Switch as well, to my eyes, on my own TV, is the Zelda Switch. Of course, it has a higher resolution, of course, but it's not that. It's just that it looks crisper, look more. It has the sharpness in it. The whole fog and all that stuff happens in both. You don't see no difference, but it has more a sharper defined line in the drawing and the art style. That's what that's what the difference is between the game. So on my TV, I have different settings. So when I put the Zelda Switch on my TV, I could keep it in the regular mode, in game mode with a vivid color and everything, and it looks gorgeous. It really does. And of course, it's upscaling to this upscaling from that up to the next level. It's a 4K TV that upscaled to near 4K. It's not perfect, not native, understandable, but it still looks great on a 65-inch TV. So now let's go. Now let's go with the Wii U. Now here's the thing: if I put the Wii U in the same thing I did for the Switch, the colors are there, but they do have a little blur effect with it because they're blending the colors. So you know what I did to rectify that? Simply set the TV to calibrate for dark colors. I did that, and the sharpness kick in. I changed it for the Wii U, and of course, thank goodness on my TV I have 4 HDMI, so I could set it differently because Switch is in its own HDMI port that could be set for that, and the Wii U could be in its own HDMI port could set for that. So it's set up like that. So both of them. So when I changed it to collaborate for the darkness, it looks gorgeous on the TV. No blurring, no missing of the colors. It stands out. It looks crisp on the 4K TV when it upscales, it's filling the space, whatever, for the spatial engine, and it looks great. It looks awesome. So people, it's funny how people like watch movies and think that because a certain movie shot in certain ways, they say this movie is going to be like, when you get it home, sometimes you might got to change a little sentence for certain movies because certain movies were shot in different ways. That is what people need to understand. One sentence is not going to work for all sentence. I don't get that. That's with how gaming is going on. There are too many variants between people and people's experience. Game designers, developers try to get that experience, but it is what it is. Now, Zelda, I have been enjoying Zelda Breath of the Wild on the Wii U. And I will be honest to you again, because my sister's this having a sister. Now, the Switch, my sister said the Switch she has saw some of the frame drops. Nothing's crazy, but she saw the frame drops. I said, okay, I understand that. Now, I got to show up two things too, because again, this is the way real world experience changes things. Let me talk about that. Why do you think it's possible to Link to burn a whole forest? Because of me? Okay, whatever, Andre. So, and you basically go into what I want to say there. She watched me play yesterday. We played. She played, as you saw my game. If you saw my Google Plus account, she had a Switch in her hand, and I have the Wii U version. And we took a picture showing that we're playing both Zeldas, a different way. The one thing about the game I like is she could play it one way, and it's different from me playing the other way, and it's different. Cool concept. How it works. So here we go. So people talk about it, the battery life, blah blah blah, whatever. We played from 6 o'clock until 10:30. That's 4.5 hours. All right, 4.5 hours. There you go. So maybe my Switch is super powered because some people say they got 12 out of the Breath of the Wild. Again, me and Katie Switch got 4.5 hours out of playing Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild. Not the 1-2 Switch. Breath of the Wild. Contrary Brown said yes, he can, but again, it's up to you. If you like that game, say again. I'm not gonna force you because everything like right now, I'm enjoying Breath of the Wild. I know the story, and to point that, like I said, is really nudging out Twilight Princess to being what it is. It's a really cool game. So yes, it can, and it is up to you when you play the game and have fun with it. Me, I enjoying it, and I'm right now is taking over the Nintendo's taking over Twilight Princess. And again, point this out too. The next Zelda that comes out of this is going to be different from this. It might go back to story mode. You cannot keep this style of game playing up because it's going to get boring. You got to keep on mixing, matching, whatever. So it might be more linear. The next Zelda game might be back to more linear because if you go to style again, trying to fill in the space, whatever, you might take aspects of this. Because remember, this Zelda Breath of the Wild has all. This thing has all the 3D Zeldas plus the first original Zelda for the warrants to go anywhere you want, and you can go anywhere you want in this game. So, but the Switch, I'm just pointing out that Switch lasts 4.5 hours for her playing Zelda Breath of the Wild. So that's a real world power test right there for you. Next thing is, she watched me play the game, and she could contest if she wasn't playing right now, but she could contest. There were no frame rate drops in the Wii U that I played all the way up for the 4.5 hours. Why? Even when people say it's busy, even when I had the as Game Idea brought up, it had there's a part where I had 6 bokoblins and a bokoblin, well, 1 bokoblin and 6 bokoblins, and the blue and it was 2 blue, red, an arrow guy, and a bokoblin, and I set the ground on fire with the fire with the wind pushing towards them. I set it in the right way. All that on the same time, and I'm fighting these guys on the screen. Screen never slowed up for me at all. That's a lot of stuff going on in that game, and it did not slow down. Didn't frame rate drop or nothing that I could perceivably see. I'm not gonna say it didn't drop 1 or 2 frames. That'll be a lie because I can't see that. But it didn't slow down as most people have seen in videos and people talking about like that. That has not happened to me yet. Do I acknowledge that it can happen? Yes, it can happen. That's what I'm trying to say. Every experience is different. Let's not condemn one because of the other. The game is not dropping to sub 15 frames per second, so let's not go there. Let's enjoy what it's not doing that, and let's not forget Digital Foundries. Let me hear a little quick story. Digital Foundries cracked a joke. They didn't crack a joke. They said it's serious tone. That's why it's weird to listen to some people sometimes. Digital Foundries said that Bayonetta on a Wii U has more frame rate problems than on the 360 and PlayStation 4. Which was weird. They said it's more better than those games, but here's where they said here's what they said the frame rate drops the worst. When Bayonetta goes into witch mode, which is she's slowing down time. How the hell you could say those two things together? It's slowing down time. So of course it's gonna slow down. Do people not do they understand what comes out, the words coming out? I don't get it. There are things that I could say. I misspoke. I have a video that's coming up, the first video from the Behind the Game series. I misspoke in that video. I'm not gonna deny it. I should have started saying Metal Gear 5 and Metal Gear 6 by accident. That was my fault. And like I said, people could misspoke, but they just said that profoundly. They didn't just misspoke it. They said that profoundly. So that's stupid. A game that has a slowdown mechanic, and you say it drops frame rates in a slowdown mechanic worse than the other consoles, which is what? It drops down to 50 frames per second. All of them drop down to 50 frames per second, except for Bayonetta that moves. You need to test. Oh, wait a minute. They tested to see who moves fluidly. Bayonetta in the slowdown. Bayonetta moves more fluidly. Then that means the Wii U has the better frame rate then, doesn't it? But again, that's just how you got to look at certain things in a certain way. So, and it's just weird. And last but not least, I will say this with the Nintendo Switch. That's what I'll end it at. Is the Nintendo Switch for everybody? No. Is it do you have to get my advice to you, and the same thing I said to Grim? If you're not buying a Nintendo Switch for Nintendo games or indie games, don't buy it. If you're buying a Nintendo, if you're gonna buy a Nintendo Switch and you think that you don't want to play with your hands are cramped, whatever, and you think it's too much money for some weird ass reason, which is weird because you buy a $500 phone and $500 phone and put a screen protector on, but you can't buy a $200 console and put on a $10 screen protector on it too. Weird. But if you ain't gonna put a screen protector on, don't buy it. It's not your console. If you wanted the best 3D control with the Nintendo Pro controller, $70, and you can to experience the game, and you think it's too much money, even though it has the AC rumble in it, even though it has the IR reader in there, even though it has gyros in there, excuse me, don't buy it. Because one thing about the Switch, one thing I'll have to say about the Switch with the controller. Now, I have both controllers, and to me, and even to my sister, again, I would wait more time to get accustomed to it, and it can happen. So I'm not going to deny that either. But for right now, the Wii U Game Pro controller is more comfortable to me. I'm the one person, maybe, or other people. Does the Xbox 360 feel solid in your hand? Xbox controllers feel solid in your hand? Yes. Have I gotten used to the thumbstick down there and the other thumbstick up there? To a degree, yes. But it's like I said, it feels weird to rest there and then moves up there. Now Nintendo Switch, my hands are there. I slip down, put it up, put it back up. It's asymmetrical. Your mind moves faster when things are on the same plane. That's just a fact. I'm sorry. It does. A lot of people like the love of the 64 the Xbox controller. Not denying it. Not saying it's a bad controller because I got one. I play more, again. I play more PC with my nunchuck remote because of what it is, but not denying it. The Pro controller for the Switch, is it comfortable in your hands? Yes. I'm gonna also do the exact same thing of get my hands that same way too. But I have to, if I right now, the Wii Pro controller is one of my most comfortable controllers I've played since the Super Nintendo with my small hands back then. Big hands now, small hands back then. So yeah, and I like the way that I like the way that you could sync you sync the controller. Man, that's the easiest way to sync a controller in a way. Because back in the Wii, even the Wii, like Wii, you have to press the button on here and press the button on the EU to see if it reads or whatever. It comes with a charger to charge the Pro controller. All right, it does. All you gotta do is plug USB, put a USB into the Nintendo Switch controller. I mean, dock. Just connect it. A prompt comes up. You press LNR. It's synced. That's it. Done. Plug in, go, bam, and you recognize the controller. I like that. That's pretty convenient. That's pretty awesome. And of course, when you buy new Joy-Cons, you slide it in, and it syncs automatically. So that's also pretty good on the Nintendo side as well too. They make it easy to sync things in that regard. And yeah, we go in that regard. So love how they did that. That's a nod to them in that design. And to me, as I told people again, sorry, I do not see everybody knows me said this. Let me say this. Sorry, I said this. Respectfully, saying the wrong thing. I said this. Oh, you gotta buy. You only have 32 gigs of storage space per cap. Again, your phone didn't, unless you have an SD. Let's be honest now. If you okay, let's be honest, because this right here is the way I think the nitpicking again gets a little crazy again. Let's be serious. The Nintendo, you bought a phone, right? My phone did not come with an SD mini card. It came with storage. Now, some phones come with storage that you can't expand upon. Okay? Some of them are one of the most braggadocious phones out there, iPhone, but you can't expand upon. Okay. But people go out and still buy it, and that's nothing on them. They sell what it is. They see the faults. They go and buy it. Next thing will be people are arguing saying that the Nintendo Switch would have need to have Bluetooth headsets. Okay, let me get this straight. It should have a Bluetooth headset in there. Okay. When iPhone 7 came out, it had the plug. I'm just doing a little comparison because I've seen some of these people are doing certain, what videos is funny to me. The iPhone came out. I looked at your reviews. You said, okay, it shouldn't have the iPhone should have had a jack. But I don't see you saying that oh man, it should have had a jack. Should have had a jack. You want that wire capability. But you're arguing for the switches. It should have a Bluetooth connection. But then you also say, but it don't have the battery life. Bitches, make up your mind. Seriously, make up your mind. That's too much conundrum in that thing. Back and forth, back and forth. Make up your mind, please. That is ridiculous. You have a headset, you plug in, boom, you're done. You're moving around, you have it there, you have fun. And again, I'm sorry, wired connection would always be better than Bluetooth. Always gonna. Just like wired is better than Wi-Fi. You have a better connection, less interference. So it's kind of weird for them to say that. Oh, you should have had Bluetooth thing, and then of course, drawing the battery, then they say, oh man, and then the Nintendo Switch is way more less power. Like I said, all that is a conundrum of conflict, and I don't think these guys understand what they're saying. It's weird. It's just basically weird. Now, I'll say this to anybody out there, like I said, to end this off. I bought Nintendo Switch to play Nintendo games and indie games that I think that looks good. That's why I bought a Switch 4. They have flaws in the Switch that I could see, and I could say, like I said, the Joy-Cons. I am going to use the Joy-Cons to play two-player mode in a small hand like they did with the Mario Kart in the commercial. No, never gonna. Is the Joy-Cons could cramp your hand if you're playing in that small way? Yes, it's gonna. Do Nintendo should have painted on white on the black so you could do the wrist straps? Yes, they should have. It's not perfect. Is there a failure rate for some of these for the console? Yes, it is. That's a part that everything has a failure rate. Just don't want it to be big so you don't lose money, Microsoft. So, failure rate. Yes, it is. Nothing's perfect. Never has been. And to end it off is to end it off for this video. Again, I'm gonna do a video about this, a shorter version of this because they take me off to somebody. Again, people right now, you guys will be saying, "Well, I'm answering to a troll." Whatever. The person didn't answer back, but I have to do this because it's funny. Here's this: a person came on, talked on the channel as usual. I mean, like I said, I'm cool with anybody. You want to talk, you talk. As long as you don't call people names, whatever. I'm kicking you out because we ain't got time for that. We want to talk and have fun about games. Good. All right, let's go. This person called, said again, words you saying, oh well, you're a Nintendo fanboy, you want to play no games, blah blah blah, blah, the usual crap. I'm like, okay, all right. So you ain't no gamer. I'm no gamer. What? Because you play kiddie stuff, you play Nintendo console. Really? Okay. So here's my simple question to the fella I typed back. So what consoles do you own, or what games do you played on last year? Well, I got a PlayStation 4 and a PC. I said, okay. Type back. Was that the only game? So that's the only two consoles you play games on, right? Yeah, because we got that. That's where PlayStation has this game and that game, and PC is all this great library and blah blah blah. I said, all right, that's cool. Okay. So I basically typed this back to this person and said, okay, so let me look at myself last year. I'm not a gamer. True gamer, whatever that is, because you think all I play is Nintendo games. Not knowing the fact that I can't argue the person because they're not gonna watch every video on my channel. Understandable, not gonna happen. But I like people say certain things without doing their own research. So like I said, I type back. Okay, so let me let you know about this. I own a Wii U, I own a 3DS. And I own a PC and now a Vita. So let me see. Last year, I played games on the PlayStation 4. I played games on PC. I played games on the Xbox One. Well, a game. Not gonna lie, a game. I played games on my Wii U, of course. Bought all the main titles and played them. I played game on my 3DS. I played games on my PlayStation Vita. Feeling consoles, people say handheld Vita. So why are you trying to measure your dick against somebody who just who's happy for what he is, where he is? I am who I am. I played it, but you trying to tell me, oh, you're a true gamer because you got PC and PlayStation 4. Well, I play games on almost all the consoles this gen, and later a little bit later on. Sure, I even played on the Wii. Yesterday, the Wii part of the the Wii part of the Wii U because I bought Rodeo Sky Soldier and Raven Rabbit's Party Collection. I played different genres, different games on all consoles, but I'm not the true gamer. This kind of stuff kills me. And always with this stuff, people are like, "Oh man, you're not a hardcore gamer." Let me help you out there, young man, and help you out very nicely. Every gamer is a hardcore gamer. Every gamer is a casual gamer. Every one of us. So let's stop. Let's just cut the bull crap. That's one of the reasons I want to be a connoisseur more than a video gamer because of the 7th gen brought all these social gamers who needs people to justify what they're doing. Everybody is. When it comes to Call of Duty, and I got the game, I played it. I got Black Ops 2, one of my favorite Black Ops game. I got Call of Duty, Black Ops 2. I'm casual in that game. I played the story, had fun. I'm not into the multiplayer, whatever. You come and tell me about Metroid now. Hey, I 100% every Metroid game except for now Federation Force. I'm not gonna lie. Except for Federation Force, I have the game. I do need to go through it and get 100%. But other than that, I have 100% every Metroid game. That's the hardcore in me. There's some games that you cannot tell me my co-host for my radio show, her daughter plays Barbie's Playhouse. She got over 200 hours in Barbie's Playhouse game for her 3DS. That's her hardcore game. But she ain't gonna play no Call of Duty and none of that stuff. And she has played Smash Brothers with us and whatever. She's casual in that. If you are a gamer, you're casual and you're hardcore. End of period. If you play more than 3 games, there's some games that you take to liking and some games you don't. I don't get that. I do not get that at all. It's weird. But with that said, in that regard, I want to, like I said, I'll do a small video about that for that guy because it did kill me. But again, I'm a Nintendo fan. I have no problem being a Nintendo fan. They're my preferred choice because I have a preference. Preference is the killer of anything Smash Bros. I don't understand why people don't understand that because I prefer Nintendo because they give me an experience that I don't get from the other consoles. Never said the other consoles are bad. Never have said that. The only one I ever, if they have to be honest with anybody that I've said makes no sense to buy is the PlayStation 4 Pro because of what's going on with the Pro. You want to buy it? You have never got a bad experience with it? Good for you. I, as a person, would say, you know what? Get the regular PlayStation, get the PlayStation Slim, because it's kind of weird. You're going to get a PlayStation Pro, but to get the full uses out of it, you need to buy a 4K TV. A 4K TV has an upscale engine, so it's and then the thing that made me say take back a little bit because I have not one but 2 developer studios on the Sony side say that this thing is not optimized. That's their words. And Zombiac is one of them because they're in my backyard. That's their words that this thing's not running well on their game, not running virtually not running that great on their console. That's their words. And also Sony pointed out in their FAQ pages that it doesn't get the new HDMI, which came out last year, for the 4K signal. It doesn't work with the PlayStation 4 Pro. It's on their FAQ page saying that it doesn't support it. So why do that? Just why get all that money to get the bells and whistles and you don't do it? That's the only console I said it's not worth it. Never PlayStation Slim, which I might get later on because there are a couple of games that I want to pick up. PlayStation 4 regular. All right, Xbox One, Xbox Slim, Scorpio's coming out. What we should be talking about is about the games. So once again, with this saying right here with the Nintendo Continuum, the Switch is not for everybody. It has problems. Is it problems to stop from enjoying the console? No, just like every other console. Because you gotta be. That's why I try to be careful as best I can with my words of how I choose my arguments. Sometimes I ain't gonna lie. Maybe once in a while I step into it, and if I do, I would like to be checked on it, and I have no problem with it. But I gotta go through your stuff and say stuff like that. Like Game Idea knows this. Like I played the game Zelda Breath of the Wild back in 2015. Now, I will make a video about this to Nintendo if it does happen a certain way. I know they took away the features from the game. I've been saying that from the Breath of the Wild. I think it was a bad decision on Nintendo, to be honest, to take away the touch features from the gamepad and that map and everything on the gamepad so it could be parity with the Switch. Let the Switch be beautiful graphics, whatever. People put it on there. Let they argue that bull crap. But let the Wii U, because that's what the game was meant for, be for what it is. That's why things should be. Now I will make a video again. Like I said, I'll make a video about this if that DLC map feature is something that was there that was sticking to the price. I'm not gonna lie with anybody. That I will point it out. That's kind of wrong, and that's going on the fact that what Nintendo is doing as the other consoles. I am feeling right now that the generation, as the ninth generation just started, and everything's getting crazy. Bad practices are taking over. I wish Nintendo ain't going down that route. I don't know, but again, sometimes you gotta fold in and you gotta do the best you can to enjoy something. I still will not buy. Still, I'm not gonna buy the DLC. But I'm just saying we need to be in that regard of looking at things objectively as best you can. Can't sound biased because everybody has a bias. I don't always get that again. I wish that the gamepad would have been used for the Wii U first. I mean, like I said, I am with that. And if I see what it is that came out of it, then I will tell you guys because I'll be honest with you guys about since I'm not the person I know, I'll be honest with you about that whole stuff. I will call out Nintendo and doing something that crazy, whatever. And also, it looked like I'll say this as a thing. I was gonna say, shoot, dang it, lost my mind, train of thought in that one. Dang nabbit. Anyway, okay, you know what? Let me because my throat is already on getting hoarse, and I need to go rest up and go to work. Do some working tonight. So I'll leave it at that. Again, the Switch is not made for everybody out there. It's not the king of Christ. It's not the best console ever made. There's never been a best console ever made because all of that is subjective to each other person. Some people like the NES, some people like the. I love the Wii U. Doesn't mean that you gonna like the Wii. We just gotta make sure our facts are straight about certain things. Don't say about the 32 gig hard drive bullcrap and then let Sony and Microsoft easy that they gotta install the games and they have a 500 gig hard drive. Yeah, and they gotta install the games on that hard drive, even if it's physical. That's a problem. That's not a fair comparison. So you can't say Nintendo had a problem why they didn't get 32 gigs. If you buy it digital, of course. But for the physical to do the exact same thing on the other consoles, it's not a fair comparison. So let's not do that crap. So it's not for everybody else. Enjoy the console. Those who look at it, take your time. See if it's what it's supposed to be. Then see if it's up to you. I told Grim Carpacci in my video, if you don't, like I said, get the case, get a pro controller, all that stuff. If that's what you do not want, don't buy the Switch. Don't waste your money. It makes no sense to buy something that you hate it and you want to return it. You did that with the Wii. You felt about the drought, which every console has a drought. The Switch is gonna have a drought, so don't think it won't. Every single console has a drought because of the weakness of all console preference, and people keep on forgetting that. But with that said, I'm gonna end this podcast here. I thank everybody out there for joining in. Let me see. One more question. He said, "Oh, I'm playing Breath of the Wild on the table mode." Saw your comment. Oh, okay, GNG. You're gonna release a DLC about a map thingy, maybe for the Wii as well. Yeah, it's for both consoles. Psyche Cooper, which is how they wanted to get cross parity with the Wii U and the Switch because of the Switch. So I wish it didn't. That's just why it is. But again, I'll tell the truth about that when that comes up. I keep telling people that Nintendo isn't downloading things like that on their system. At least the hardware buying you not getting a digital key. Yeah. Well, there you go. You know, saying that you ain't gonna get a digital key. It is. But I'm gonna put up a. You guys could talk way past me. I'll send a link to those who want to do the after chat thing, whatever. So Yin Yao, Psychic Cooper, Country Ambassador, Game Idea, Santiago 316, Fluid, Metal Mint, Insane Gamer, Anderson, Double A. Thank y'all for joining us, and anybody else who's watching this video later. One White Kong, like thank y'all for joining us for the chat, and I will catch y'all on the next time. 283. I can't forget that. I think Josh is another one that was in there because I got a lot of people watching this thing. So thank y'all for joining us. Again, people, be objective as best you can. If it doesn't look good to you, don't buy it. If it looks good to you, buy it. Do your research. That is the most important thing you can do. So with that said, my phrase is always going to be this. There's no perfect games out there. What's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. Simply enjoy the games on the console, on any console, even PC, no matter the console, no matter the PC. Seriously, just enjoy the games, have fun. Pick up the Horizon Zero Dawn, have fun with it. Pick up Zelda Breath of the Wild, have fun. Wii U version, Switch version. Hell, Pick up Remix RMX Bomberman. Enjoy that. See if you want to have fun. Pick up games that you think that's on your level and enjoy it. Because it might work for you, but it not right for somebody else. That's why I say that phrase, nothing's perfect, because it never been. So have a good night. Enjoy it. I will do a second version of this once the online and everything else pops out. We see the price, we see what's going on. There'll be another part. That might be a part again. Nintendo stepped in it, and because of gamers talking and nonsense, Nintendo followed them, and now they're gonna use they're using it as a hit piece because, like I said, like Andre knows what I'm talking about. Like they hated the Wii U. Now the Switch come out. Now they got to compare it. Now they like the Wii U gamepad. Go figure how things work. But again, you guys have a good night. Peace out. And again, I'll put up the chat for after the chat. Maybe I'll go do a little couple minutes and then I'll peace out with you guys. Other than that, y'all have a good night.